Oh hey, welcome to my desk. Today I'm going to be drawing spring movies. Okay. So I picked out some movies that for me are very spring. It was actually kind of hard because I feel like a lot of spring kind of blends in with summer for me. But I don't know, I tried to choose movies that I feel like for me are spring in spirit. But of course, people can have different opinions. And I've actually made other videos of the other seasons. If you want to watch, I can put the links to those. But this is the last one. And I'm going to start with a 1980s movie called Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I say it like it's not one of the most famous movies ever. But I wanted to do a high school movie because I feel like high school movies do for me feel very spring. I guess because a lot of them are set, around graduation, that kind of thing. But Ferris Bueller, it's John Hughes, directed it. He made a bunch of high school movies in the 80s, like The Breakfast Club and 16 Candles. And this one, I mean, they're all good, but I really like this one. It feels very spring. It's about a teenager who skips school for the day. And he takes his best friend and his girlfriend on an adventure in the city. In Chicago. And they go to like a fancy restaurant. They go to a ball game. They go to a museum. It's kind of like an advertisement for Chicago. It's like, this is all the cool stuff you can do in one day in Chicago. And I do really like movies that take place all in one day. I just find that like a really cool trope, or what's it called? Storytelling technique or whatever. Even better if it's in real time. But I just think that it has that quintessential 80s charm, nostalgic vibe. Feels very spring, very adventurous, very light. Feel good, And iconic. If you haven't seen this movie, you're missing out on film history, Okay, so that was Ferris Bueller. And the next movie, let's see. Okay, yeah, this movie is called The Royal Tenenbaums. The Royal Tenenbaums is a Wes Anderson film. I do feel like a lot of Wes Anderson films feel like spring to me. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's the colors, or like the setting, or the art direction, or I don't know what it is, but they all feel very spring-like. And this one's no different. It's about a wealthy New York family with 3 children, and they're all like child prodigies. So there's this guy he was like a tennis player, like a really good tennis player as a kid, and then he became professional. And then there's another son played by Ben Stiller, who's like a financial whiz kid. And then the daughter, who's played by Gwyneth Paltrow, she's like a playwright. She gets published, or like, what do they say for plays? Like her plays produced in like 9th grade. So they're all like these high accomplished, amazing prodigies, and then as adults they've all become like depressed and disillusioned and sad and separated. And they have like a falling out. But they are reunited when the father announces that he has cancer. So they're all back together, but they're like dealing with intergenerational, toxic family dynamics. It sounds dark, but it's actually a comedy. And it's very, played very, like, monotone. I think, Wes Anderson's direction style is always very specific. I feel like the characters almost all have, like, very little affectation. So it's kind of, just like that, the same as all his other movies. But I really like it. The music's good, the art direction, the cinematography, all of the craft of it is really good. And the, just the vibes as well. It's very, very cool and musical, It's not a musical, but it feels kind of like choreographed in a way, And there's some funny moments. I definitely like this movie. There's one weird thing about it. There's like an incest thing. I guess not technically, because, they're not blood related, but anyways. That's the Royal Tenenbaums. Okay, so the next movie that I'm going to draw today is for sure spring. No doubting it. That is The Sound of Music. And The Sound of Music, a classic musical. I'm not usually that much of a musical guy. Like, I don't really like musicals that much usually. I'm open to them, but this is probably my favorite musical. Growing up, I loved watching this. It's got everything you could want. It's got romance, it's got Nazis. Not that you'd want them. But it's got, it's about a problematic nun who, the other nuns in her convent, they all hate her. So they're just trying to get rid of her. They put her with this family of like 6 kids, like not orphan, but the father is a widower. And so they needed like a governess, and so she gets hired as their governess. And at first it doesn't really work out, or it's not working out. The father's really strict, and she's not about that. She's more about music and singing and dancing and making clothes out of curtains. No, but it is good, and I like the music, all the songs. There's only a couple of songs that I don't really like in this movie, but most of them are good. And Julie Andrews is just a delight. I love her. She's such an amazing singer too in this. I heard actually that she lost her singing voice because of like an injury or something, so she can't really sing anymore, which is really sad. But at least we have this. Okay, so that was the The Sound of Music. And I'm going to draw one more movie. It's a little bit of a departure. It's not as feel good, but it's The Hours. The Hours. The Hours. The Hours is a movie based on a book. That's also kind of based on a book. So the movie is based on a book about Virginia Woolf while she's writing the novel Mrs. Dalloway. And then while that story is being told, we keep jumping back and forth in time to two other stories. So one in the future of a woman in the 1950s, I think, who's reading Mrs. Dalloway and just has like her own drama going on. And then again in the future of that in New York in like the early 2000s. And it's a woman who's basically living the story of Mrs. Dalloway. Like she is Mrs. Dalloway. And it's a really good movie, really sad. But Nicole Kidman, who I'm drawing here, she won an Oscar for this movie. And a lot of people say it's because she wore a fake nose. Or like, if you wear a fake nose, you get an Oscar. Because I feel like it's maybe it's happened a couple more times besides that. But she does do a really good job. I mean, she does an amazing job in everything. But honestly, I was more impressed by Julianne Moore's performance. She was also in this. I think she was nominated, but for Best Supporting. And then also Meryl Streep in New York, doing amazing things, as always. But it is very good. It's very well made. The music is amazing. I think it's by John Cage. No, that's not right. I can't remember. Maybe it is John Cage. Anyways, I remember learning it on the piano because I loved it so much. Okay, so that is The Hours. Alright, so that is the last of the movies today. Well, I hope you like this one. Let me know in the comments what movies you think are good for spring. And I will see you in the next one.